Hello folks, and welcome to the first TEM Demo Disc, where I get to show you a series of games I've decided you need to see. For our first disc, we have 12 incredible projects I want to show. As many of the viewers of The Electric Mindset know, I am a massive music game fan. Seeing people use music creatively is one of my favorite things, and Torch Hill, the developer behind City of Beats, has completely made a fan out of me. As soon as I heard the music and saw the aesthetic Torch Hill went with, I was on board, but to leave it at that would be an injustice. Everything from enemy attacks, movements, and even player attacks follow the music in this action roguelike. I just can't believe how well the developer has managed to put all the pieces together. The game is you working your way through a multi-path map, fighting to get a chance at the big bad. The journey won't be easy, but with an interesting build, you might find yourself to be way stronger than you think. You gather upgrades and modifications to your playstyle all throughout, but be smart because these things are not always gifts. Some of them can be considered double-edged swords. After your run ends, you are sent back to a hub where you can spend your gathered orbs and trait points to better your character. As a fan of roguelikes, seeing music melded together so seamlessly with the genre makes this such an easy recommendation from me. If you manage to play the demo on Steam, then I recommend checking out the chill out mode, which takes you on a relaxing fly through of the environments while listening to great music. If you like even just roguelikes, then check out City of Beats. Death Trash by developer Crafting Legends crawled under my skin in the best possible way. As a fan of H.P. Lovecraft and the chilling tracks of Akira Yamaoka, I instantly loved the atmosphere set by Death Trash. The instant I saw that there was an event called The Bleeding, I was like, yes, I hope this game destroys me. After diving into the game, I was met with an array of feelings, and none of them were bad. The inventory is smooth, and controlling the game makes sense before ever seeing a tutorial, which is just great design. I would say the most surprising thing is how much of a stalker mixed with classic Fallout vibe I got from the whole experience. After leaving my initial starting area, I met the very pleasant Flesh Kraken, who asked me to find him friends. As I left whatever hole I found myself stuck in, I was met with a somber and dead world covered in crawling flesh and even worse things. I couldn't wait to dive into it and find out what secrets this place held, and even more importantly, how things got this way. As I went deeper and deeper into the world that Crafting Legends has, well, crafted, I knew that I needed to tell every H.P. Lovecraft, gore, horror, and old RPG fan about Death Trash. Gigapocalypse by Goody Gameworks brings me back to sitting on the floor playing Rampage when I was younger. Well, after the incredible Tamagotchi-esque segment where you feed and look after your little destroyer of worlds, something that you'll spend time after each round doing, you can then choose which level your child will tackle. The game automatically has you walking forward, choosing which attack to use, and puts you in charge of destroying everything within sight while trying not to be shot apart. Each Giga has a skill tree that can greatly increase the destructive potential of each attack, and even give you new ones. You can attack people in a number of ways, and from the looks of things, the developer has some cool plans for creatures. If that wasn't good enough, you can also customize your Giga to add new perks to it. Some of these perks can be game-changing, like decking out your monster in armor that deflects missiles. This just has so much potential and is without a doubt a game I want to get my hands on as soon as possible. Now, Glyph by Bulwark Games takes things in a calmer direction with interesting puzzles and a unique type of main character. You play as a weird beetle of sorts as you travel through a world devastated by some unknown machine. The demo starts out by getting you comfortable with the controls, then proudly lets you go off on your own. You can roll, jump, fly, and more, and every level feels great to go through in the demo. I often found myself just rolling around for the fun of it. I wasn't worried about the objectives at first because the movement was engaging enough for me to toy with. You can definitely tell the developer is thinking of different ways to have you interact with the world, and with the full game promising over 80 levels, I really suggest keeping this game on your radar if you enjoy platforming puzzlers with a twist. Next, I'm really excited to tell you about Andrew Georgiou's game Grapple Hoops. I must give a heads up right now that if you run into an issue with the demo not launching, try running it in administrator mode. This fixed it for me. With that out of the way, I gotta show you how skilled I am with handling my well, never mind. In Grappling Hoops, you go through each level trying to nail the perfect shot or the perfect dunk while flinging and fighting your way to the net. This game is insanely fun, and I can't help but see a ton of potential in the game. I just wanted more of it. Andrew may be a 17-year-old solo developer, but the work he has done with Grapple Hoops could end up rivaling games like Cyberhook and Ghost Runner in the end. If you really like laughing while making a chaotic dash for the finish line, then I think you need to check out this game right away. With a ton of game modes and levels on the way, including multiplayer, I know I'll be keeping my eye on it. Grime by Cloverbite might just be one of the most exciting games for me personally in this video. I was not sure what to expect when I entered the world of Grime, but what I got was a game filled with hauntingly beautiful art and a protagonist as mysterious as the world they inhabit. The game's environments are so detailed and large feeling in scale that I was just floored for the first 30 minutes of my time with it. Eventually I started to settle into the gameplay, which is brutal, technical, and a lot of fun. The weapons especially really need a mention because they are some of the coolest pieces of gear I have seen in a long time. The controls are really tight and responsive, so you always feel like the game is hard but fair. The look of every single thing in this game is incredible, and all I wanted was more of it. This quickly went from being one of my most anticipated demos to one of my most anticipated games in general. Honestly, I could have made an entire video on just Grime, so let's continue on our way. I Am Fish is a game by Bossa Studios, the folks who are also behind Surgeon Simulator and I Am Bread. They've once again decided that we need another hilarious game, and they have, once again, done a great job with it. The art style is charming, and I love the facial animations of our fish friend. For the remainder of my time with the game, I will call him Jeremy Gills. The entire game looks just spectacular, and you really notice it in the demo after leaving the starting area and seeing the city. The developers have managed to make the massive world around you feel really lived in. The environment has used a great effect to provide Jeremy Gills with obstacles to overcome. I noticed there are multiple ways to complete the level, and there seems to be hints of potential when it comes to a speedrunning community. The only complaint with the demo I have is that there wasn't more of it, which seems to be becoming a common complaint with me. I think in the end though, that sounds like a good thing. Renane by Octosoft would probably win as the biggest surprise of the entire festival for me. I wasn't really expecting anything crazy when I found Renane, but I can easily say now that it might be one of my favorite indie games for some weird sentimental reasons. You play as Ein, a knight whose life was made difficult by a dragon. Typically this would mean getting on with your life, but you see, Ein has an ability. She is the Phoenix Knight, so she can come back again and again. From the music to the art, the entire game brought back memories for me, and just on its own, it will probably amaze you with the quality of its art. The game goes beyond just stats and number changes with its emblem system, which can seriously alter your playstyle, making it exciting to find new emblems. The music isn't what you might expect in a game like this either, but over time I liked the feel they were going for. I actually look forward to seeing what the rest of the soundtrack is like. And boyo, let me tell you one of the best parts about this game. It's the writing. The dialogue in this game will keep a constant smile on your face. I almost can guarantee you it. If you love great side-scrollers with nostalgic music, memorable graphics, and a retro feel, then you need to keep an eye on this game. Next is probably one of the best looking side-scrollers you will have seen in recent memory. At least for me, it looks like it has the potential to be my favorite action side-scroller. Song of Iron by developer Resting Relic brings you visceral combat with solid mechanics in this adventure to find the Great Temple of the Gods in order to save your people. I loved throwing weapons and edge-walking my way towards every enemy I came across. Seeing my shield splinter as a foe's axe collides with it, or the protagonist deliver a fierce kick knocking his enemy off balance before embedding his axe in the foe's face leaves me in awe at how raw it all feels. The game doesn't just throw people at you in this game though. It goes into the world of dark fantasy, which means you can't let your guard down for a second. Other people are definitely not the worst thing you'll find out there. The developer has done a great job with the controls in the game, and even the small quality of life features in the game are well thought out. I want to play more of this game so bad it almost hurts, and I'm not sure how many anime fans watch my stuff, but I felt like I was in an episode of Vinland Saga the entire time. Whether you want a good story or just really hard-hitting combat, I can easily recommend Song of Iron. Holy crap, The Darkest Tales. Where do I even begin with this incredible project from developer Trinity Team? It would be very easy to see the teddy bear protagonist and assume you're gonna get a silent protagonist, but you'd be so wrong. The writing for every single character in the game drips with personality, and every character you meet feels like a real living entity in the world. This isn't a developer trying to get you invested in a world, this is a world you have the pleasure of entering in the first place. The game has you playing as a dusty old and admittedly neglected teddy bear. Your owner has been taken by dream demons and is in danger. You have to enter the world of dreams to save her, if you can. From the first locale you visit, you get a sense that your expectations were so wrong. The twisted fairy tales are familiar but ever so deranged and pleasantly tainted by the amazingly creative folks at Trinity Team. This is gonna be one of those games that you think about for years after you finish playing it. It might even be a game you find hard to ever forget. I'm so excited for The Darkest Tales. The Lightbringer is like someone made a fantastic Legend of Zelda spin-off that sadly never saw the light of day. The game is smooth in every aspect. The animations for the most part are all really fluid, and the look of the characters really match the world they're in. One thing that I really noticed was how well everything from the look, mechanics, and music came together. The music especially was something I really enjoyed. You're introduced to the mechanics of the game as you begin your journey, and are also given a look at the puzzle elements you can expect. For me, the biggest takeaway was just how pleasant the game felt to be in. It really reminded me of back in the days when I'd find a great platformer on the Nintendo 64. I especially enjoyed the bosses armor shown in the demo. It isn't insanely difficult or anything, but it has a lot of charm and brings back memories of games I used to love. I had never heard of this project till the festival, and I'm glad I know of it, and I definitely want to know more now. Lastly is Unmetal from developer Fran Games, and as someone who has been a massive Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid fan since the first games came out, I wasn't expecting what I got out of this game. I went into the game completely blind and was laughing before the intro was even over. The writing is funny and doesn't rely too much on referencing the already clear references, but instead makes you laugh with great original jokes. The art style is also fantastically done, and it fits the Theme Fan Games has gone for. It actually was really awesome to see such a clear homage to one of my favorite series. The story follows Jesse Fox, a man who's been arrested for a crime I think he didn't commit. The story is presented by means of interrogation, and it is actually really well used in this situation. I feel like saying or showing too much of this game would be doing it dirty, since it's so good that you should try it if you love retro action games, and 100% buy it if you love the Metal Gear or Metal Gear Solid series. Just use the eye patch item and see why I love this game. Damn, I am so excited for the titles we got to see at the Steam Festival, but I hope you make an effort to keep an eye on any of the games you liked seeing here. In the last 2 years, I've been helping indie developers. I've had the pleasure of coming into a community full of really hardworking and passionate people. Being able to use skills I've acquired over the years to help out indie developers has been fantastic, and I hope I can bring you another one of these videos soon to show you even more incredible projects. With all that said, the only thing left to say is thank you so much for being here, and make sure to check out the links below to find any of the games you enjoyed from the video. The links are in order of appearance as well. Take care.